Hi everyone, welcome to Drive and Fail 59. Watch the white car in lane 2. It's sort of like a bumper car, this one. Oops. Mobile phone use is my guess. You can also see the mirror casing bouncing down the carriageway. I bet that lorry driver didn't even feel that either. This video has been kindly sponsored by Car Vertical. Watch this for a poorly timed overtake. Nicely spotted by my viewer, but motorists have to do better than this. You're putting people's lives at risk. Incoming bonnet watcher. The amount of people who arrive then look at all junctions is horrendous. My viewer spotted them well though. I'm suspecting this new driver wasn't taught much about the dangers of sitting in lorries' blind spots. Or they checked the mirrors and didn't see the lorry. Incidents like this are reduced massively if you drive in a staggered formation. But this P-plater wasn't content just having one accident. I think it would have been the correct thing to do to hold back and let them reverse out though. Some of the things that people capture on dashcams are amazing. Just look at this vehicle, sat in the middle of the road blocking it so no one can get past. If you look far up the road there's no one coming, but surely the driver of this car has seen my viewer. Finally they move. But is there going to be enough space for my viewer to fit through? It looks quite narrow. Ah, good, there's just enough. Now, be honest, did anyone not spot the clown? My viewer sent this clip in as a driving fail, but I'm not so sure. The driver of this lorry does seem to open their door quite recklessly, but my viewer's going slow and there's a reasonable space. I think it was more like didn't care rather than didn't look. Let me know what you think.
Has your car been written off before you purchased it? No? Are you sure? If you checked your vehicle with Car Vertical before you purchased it, you can rest assured, but if you didn't, you could be driving around in something that used to look like this Ford Cougar. The pictures show previously this Cougar has had a heavy front impact, enough so that the airbags were deployed inside. In January this year, the ownership of this vehicle changed and it successfully passed an MOT inspection in April. But does the new owner know that this vehicle had previously been written off? I'm not saying that if a car has been repaired properly it's going to be unsafe, but it can affect the market value of any vehicle. If the owner has paid top dollar for this car because they don't know its history, when they come to sell it, if someone has checked it through Car Vertical, they're likely to take a hit in the pocket. Apart from the damage, it's mostly okay. The car hasn't been reported stolen, there doesn't seem to be any financial problems and the mileage checks out, but there are a couple of extra points in the timeline regarding previous MOT fails. I think some of the reasons for fail could be linked to the damage that had happened previously. If you were thinking of buying this vehicle, these would be areas I would definitely advise to get checked out. Please use my link in the description, and by using the promo code Ashley when you're checking out your next potential purchase, you can save yourself 20%. Thanks, Car Vertical.
This clip features someone else who's expecting another road user to slow down for them, watching the distance at the Jag that overtakes the lorry, and also keep an eye on my viewer's speed in the bottom right. Where does the fail lie in this clip? Please let me know in the comments. Up ahead we've got a slow moving tractor, but it's behind where all the problems lie. Have a look at that for a barge in by the lorry driver. The white van driver does something similar, but not quite as bad. But the driver of the Volkswagen further back is a little aggrieved. Pretty obviously they haven't seen the problem up ahead, and all they see is a space to the left as the lorry gets into lane 2. Now here comes the light bulb moment. How many of these incidents would have happened if people had been following a little further from the vehicle in front? An absolute classic case of not being seen due to obstructions. You could read this a mile off. And my viewer did. Someone else who arrives then looks and does very little to adjust their speed to suit the extra risk. Terrible emerging. The markings on the floor show that there's 2 lanes going to the A189 north. And this white car in front is in the left of those 2. So how can you expect to go further past the A189 north? This driver thinks it's okay though. They then also blaze through a red light. In a few of the last episodes, we've looked at a few clips that were really close near misses. I think I've found one that's even closer. I don't think that one's ever going to be beat. This clip features possibly some of the worst parking that I've seen. It even backs up onto this roundabout. People really just don't want to walk another few hundred yards nowadays, do they?
Going there, okay?
This parking is also pretty poor. This isn't even a space and they decide to leave it there. Nice footage from the VFO dashcam at night, by the way. Thanks for your support, and you probably use the code Ashley to save yourself 5%. All the links are in the description. And yes, they actually did leave it there. This isn't quite as close as the other clip we just watched, but it's still a pretty close call. The private hire did a reasonable job, but not quite good enough to stop a collision if there was going to be a wider swing. But the driver of the Corsa decides to stop here and make sure everything's okay. My viewer goes round and then continues their overtake of the invisible car in lane 1. We haven't had one of these for a while. Hands up if you need lessons. I think that guy wants a block booking. This lorry driver in front gets a little frustrated with the 40 miles an hour speed limit.
No. Oh my god. What on earth are you doing? We were doing 40.
And now look, the black SUV is also turning left, and the lorry driver's taking cones out.
Hell, what on earth?
This is a new type of junction we've just introduced to the UK. It's called a wrong roundabout. This motorcyclist just hasn't seen the new rules. The DVSA released them about 3 years ago. Up ahead, the vehicles in lane 1 are trying to move out to help a tractor in the slip road. Watch the vehicle behind the learner. How impatient can you get? And this is one reason why I've had a few BMWs as driving school vehicles. People don't really know what they're going to get. They don't know whether you're going to be hesitant or drive like an absolute plum. And a bit more serious note to finish.
Impatient. Wow.
I hope the driver of that vehicle sees this clip and reflects on what they just did.